Hello, I'm Alek Avdakov, and welcome to the Frederick the Great podcast YouTube channel. This video in particular is something that I have not seen a podcast channel do. In the totality of my podcasts, there are 37 episodes that discuss, more or less, Frederikian history. The goal of today's episode is to do something that I've wanted to discuss for a long time. I intend to review my own podcast episode, Holy Roman What? My very first episode. So, why do this? Well, my main thing is that I want to publicly discredit my own work as kind of trash so that other people don't have to when I obviously become famous. This is sadly my most viewed episode on my podcast statistics overall, and I want to say stop. I almost wish that I didn't publish it at this point. However, I feel that after this video, there will not be any reason for you to listen to this particular episode. It will definitely prove to you all not to listen to this episode. I repeat, do not go down to the link into the description and listen to this abysmal episode. The goal is to keep this less than a 10-minute video. One final thing before I get to the crux of the matter. I must tell you that this is not a reaction video because I do not want any of you to hear the actual episode's audio. Seriously, do not go into the link in the description and listen to my first episode. As Plankton wisely once said, "It's not worth it." Anyway, let's get into the review, starting with the audio quality. The first thing you hear in the episode is not actually the theme song. It is the sound of my computer being as loud as a plane taking off. See, back then I did not have a microphone or used an audio editing platform that was very useful. Therefore, I had to get all of this in one take, or I wouldn't have an episode. This caused me to get extra nervous about my mistakes or just think, screw it, this is the take I'm gonna go with. Anyway, the second thing you hear is the theme song at the time, which was the Hohenfriedberg March. Sorry about the construction in the background. Anyway, the current theme is the Fridericus Rex Grenadiers March, which was a song written after Frederick the Great's reign commemorating him. Instead, the Hohenfriedberg March was in commemoration of one of Frederick's most famous battles. But then, something immediately struck me as I was listening to this episode. It's just so quiet. Some things I genuinely forget, and that was an aspect of the audio that was immediately noticeable. Now onto the content of the delivery. The delivery of the content, pardon me. I'll let listener DVL describe how I am currently feeling about this first episode. Quote, "It feels like I am listening to a kid reading his school project at the front of the class, and I feel that it just needs more polish. But good on you for trying." If you were to listen to my first episode after hearing my more recent stuff, you would tend to agree. This is due to there is little to no inflection in my voice, except for the few jokes I wrote into the first episode. Other than that, it's just the same stuttery, robotic voice throughout the whole thing. So let's recount the quality of the episode so far. Audio quality, content delivery, kind of iffy. And now on to the actual content of the episode. So I would say that the major strength of the episode was its humor. But then again, I'm me, so of course I'm gonna like my own humor. But you have to admit that any joke at the expense of the Habsburg dynasty is a pretty good joke. Another positive is that, for the most part, I got my history correct. There are some things here and there that I would currently change, but all in all, it wasn't that bad. So, if those were the positives, what are the negatives? Well, for one, the story is very disjointed. When it looks like I'm about to discuss the geography of Prussia, I then go into the political institutions of the Holy Roman Empire. Why wouldn't I just talk about what Prussia looks like on a map, rather than the structure of the Holy Roman Empire. Another negative aspect of this episode's content is the primary source quotes that are just way too long. I mean, the abdication of speech of Charles V took like 3 minutes long, and the Peace of Augsburg Treaty quote was another minute. If I were a casual listener, I wouldn't want to hear some dude drone on about these really long quotes. So, what do I give Holy Roman What as an overall score? Overall, I would say I'll give it a 1.5 out of 5 stars, because nobody expects a decimal. Anyway, thank you for watching this review of my own content, and I repeat, do not go into the link in the description and listen to that episode. And comment, Frederick sent me. I repeat, do not comment, Frederick sent me. If you do, I'll just have to make more reviews of my own podcasts, and nobody really wants that, right? Anyway, I'm off to do more important things, like attempting to finish up my undergrad. See you guys.